We're heading deep into the flooded forests of the Mekong Delta for a wild honeybee hunt. We'll be navigating muddy swamps, scaling low branches over canals, and climbing high into the canopy as a rainstorm approaches, using traditional, sustainable smoking methods to keep both the bees and myself safe. We'll see if we can harvest some pure forest honey. Let's head out. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I actually set out with a different plan in mind. I was searching for hornets in the dense brush of our local mangrove wetlands here in the Mekong Delta. Right over there, tucked away in the branches of a binbat tree, which you might know as a pond apple tree, is a massive wild honeybee nest. The recent storms have made everything wet and slippery, and the dense palm leaves almost completely hid the nest from view. I had to look closely to spot it. Before I climb up, I've prepared our traditional smoker torch. It's just a bundle of fresh green leaves tied together. Let's head up and see if we can harvest some wild honey today. Climbing these trees in the wetlands is always a bit of a challenge. The mud on my feet makes the bark very slick, and I have to balance my phone, my knife, and the smoker torch all at once. Look at that. As we get closer, you can see how large this colony is. Thousands of wild honeybees are tightly packed, guarding their home. I gently bring the smoking leaves close to the bottom of the nest. The cool smoke slowly rises through the colony. In nature, smoke signals a potential forest fire, which prompts the bees to consume as much honey as they can hold. Once their bellies are full, they become calm and heavy, making them much less likely to sting. I always try to work slowly and quietly to avoid agitating them. Now that the bees have moved aside, look at that beautiful, swollen white crown at the top of the nest. That is what we call the honey crown. It's filled with ripe honey and sealed with a thin layer of wax. When harvesting wild honey, it is crucial to practice sustainability. I only cut the top portion containing the honey, leaving the lower part, where the eggs and baby larvae are kept, completely untouched. This allows the colony to survive, rebuild their nest, and continue pollinating the surrounding forest. I use my pocket knife to slowly slice through the comb. It is incredibly heavy, The golden liquid is already dripping down, and the sweet, floral aroma is amazing. I carefully guide the honeycomb into a clean plastic bag. This first nest has yielded a very decent piece. After securing the first harvest, I climb down carefully. The ground here is incredibly soft, and my feet sink deep into the mud with every step. These coastal mangrove forests are rich in biodiversity. The mixture of brackish water, wildflowers, and dense foliage creates the perfect environment for wild bees to thrive, especially during the monsoon season. Even though the rain makes the search difficult, it also brings a lot of wild blossoms, which means the honey we find around this time has a unique, complex flavor. Look right up there, against the bright sky. Do you see that large, dark silhouette hanging high up in the branches of that tall acacia tree? That is a very impressive nest. Because it's so high up, this climb is going to be much more demanding. The trunk is straight and doesn't have many branches near the bottom, but there are some thick wild vines wrapped around it. I can use those as handholds. The sun is starting to beat down now, making the air very humid, and I can feel a breeze picking up. In our region, a sudden breeze usually means a rain shower is on the way. I need to make this climb quickly but safely. Using my bare hands and feet helps me grip the wet bark much better than any shoes would. I slowly make my way up, wrapping my arms around the trunk. Once I reach the branch, the wind sways the tree slightly, which can be a bit intimidating when you are 20 feet up in the air. I hang my smoker torch on a nearby branch to let the smoke drift over the bees. This colony seems a bit more active, and a few guard bees are buzzing closely around my head. The key here is to stay completely calm. If you panic or start swatting at them, they will immediately perceive you as a threat and attack. Just breathe slowly and let the smoke do its work. This second nest is absolutely beautiful. The honey crown is perfectly capped with fresh, light-colored wax, indicating that the honey inside is fully ripe and has a very low water content. I take out my knife and make a clean, horizontal cut just above the brood area. The weight of the honeycomb is incredible. I can feel it pulling down as I slice. I catch it in my bag, tie it securely, and prepare to head down. Climbing down while carrying several pounds of sticky honeycomb is a slow process, but we made it down safely. Today has been a great day. Just look up there. I've spotted a third bee nest. No time to waste, I'm going to head up right now. With no gear and no safety harness, I have to climb this tree with my bare hands. As I reach the fork in the branches, the loud buzzing of the swarm gets much clearer. Just like the last times, I'm using the smoke from these green leaves to gently calm the bees and clear them away. Revealing the fresh, white honeycomb shining under the sun. It really is a beautiful sight. Now, let's harvest it together. I made it back to my house just as the rain started to pour down. The tropical weather here really doesn't waste any time. Now, let's see the results of today's journey. I have my old school mechanical kitchen scale ready. I place our harvest on the scale. Look at that. The needle swings all the way past 5 kilograms, stopping right at 6 kilograms, which is about 13 pounds of raw, wild honeycomb. Let's break it down by bag to see the individual weights. The first bag weighs about 2.6 kilograms, 5.7 pounds. The second bag is about 2.4 kilograms, 5.3 pounds. And the last small comb we collected is around 1.3 kilograms, 2.8 pounds. Because we harvested this during the rainy season, the honey is naturally a bit thinner than what we find in the dry season due to the high humidity. But the flavor is incredibly delicate, light, and sweet. And finally, thank you so much for joining me on this muddy adventure today. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a thumbs up and subscribing to see more of our daily life in the Mekong Delta. Take care, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.